Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Art Study of You. I am your host, Cameron Gilmore. I have to absolutely thank the guest that is on today, Medhat Zaki. It is his birthday today. We're shooting this on his birthday. Happy birthday. I won't hurt your ears by me singing happy birthday to you, but just know that we are super grateful that you came on today.
Thank you.
I want to start off, those of you in the 10 plus countries that listen to this podcast, you know how I start off. I jump right into this. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Medhat, please take us through where you grew up, the conditions in which you grew up, and let's get into that, because this is going to set the stage for all of us that is listening. The will to win is greater than the will to think that I can never become. So, Medhat, please tell us, where did you grow up? How did you grow up? Kind of the history of who you are that we see today.
Okay, thank you, Cameron. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you for the birthday. Thank you very much. So, I grew up in Egypt, in the south of Egypt, in a small village in the area called Elmenia, and that's really poor there. And so if you live in one area, you get the mindset from the people, and you believe that's all. You think this is the law of the world. You are here, and this is the world. For you, it's the world. And that was from me. And I believe in everything, what I saw and what I lived. And it was really poor, not only the situation and the money, but it also was poor in the mind, how to think like this. And the question is how you can get another mindset if you are in the middle of this. You cannot imagine, and you cannot know there is another mindset. And you can also not know that's wrong what you have, because you believe this is right. There is no other choice. And so I was thinking the same, like the others. And you must be grateful for everything what you have, because there are another people, they don't have what you have. So you have to be grateful, and that's great, and everything is okay. And the rich people are bad. The rich people are bad. Also I learned, because they cannot be rich with a normal way. They must do or did something what's not okay. That's why they are very rich now. But the poor people are very good people. They are great people. And so you must be satisfied. And so I was believing I'm satisfied and everything is great. So why shall I change anything? Everything is great. So this was the mindset what I had.
Guys, did you hear that? Did you hear the mindset? This generational thinking of be happy for what you have, because if you have more, it could start to distort the way that you think. Or because you have more than somebody else, you must have done something bad.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And we are all the same. There is nobody who is rich or something like that. No. And so you can also not imagine that you can, because I was thinking rich people are bad or make criminal things, or they come from the rich families. That's the two versions what I know about rich. And so I'm not from the rich family, and I will never do bad things. So I will never be rich. That was the belief.
How did you get through this internal fight? This internal fight of you're a good person, you love your family, but there's got to be more. I mean, generational thinking, the area in which you live, that's what they believe.
Yes.
This is who we are. How did you get through this internal fight of I'm a good person, but I just want more?
I didn't know that I just want more. I was thinking just to do something different. Can be. I mean, all the people what I had around me were very good in the school. I was very bad in the school. I was the stupidest one in the school. I was very stupid. And so how I can be rich if I'm like this? I'm not good in the school. And I know about, I was about 30 or 31, and then it know about me that I have a dyslexia. I cannot write and read correct, and that was the reason why I was like this. I was not stupid, but I couldn't do this like the other. So, but about 30 years, I was thinking I'm stupid. And so all was looking for a job, to get a good job that you can live. And I was I'm not good in the school, so I will not get a good job. So I have to do something freelancing. And so that was not a choice to be rich. It was something what I say, I'm not able to do this, so I take another. And the poor thinking was, I love photograph, to make photos and something like this. And I say, I will make a photo studio. And I started with 16 to have a photo studio in the South. And okay, it was great, but I didn't think like a business. It was something, but I can have something to live today. And I was thinking, if I love to make photos, that's enough to make business. And so I did, and I was not really successful. I did it 3 years, and it was not a very good idea. So I must change, because I don't earn any money. So I was about 19, and I start to change, and I did some courses and training to do a massage, because I was training karate, and was somebody who do massage when we have a problem. And so I thought I would like to do this, and I started to do the massage, and then it's going big, and I have a big wellness and fitness club, and then the second, and the third. And with 25, I had the first million. The problem is, I was a millionaire with a poor mindset, and I lost everything, because I was thinking, to be rich, you must have money. No, to be rich, you must have a rich mindset. You can be lucky, and you can do a lot of things, and you get money, but you are not rich. You have money, but you are not rich. This is a difference. I was thinking the difference between rich and poor. The rich had money and poor had no money. No, the rich had a rich mindset, and the poor had a poor mindset. They can have money or no, there is nothing. And I was 30 or 31 as I learned this. Rich is rich mindset and not money.
Guys, okay. I almost jumped out of my skin on a couple of, you said 3 very, very, very impactful points. Listen to what he just said. He couldn't read and he couldn't write, not because he was dumb, but he was dyslexic. 30 years old, and he figures out, I'm dyslexic this entire time. I'm not stupid. So when he finds out that he had something he could course correct, 16 years old, he made a decision, said, I'm not going to get a traditional job like somebody else who can get good grades and can get a good job. I've got to figure out what I can do that works for me. He wanted to recognize his true passion. He wanted to recognize what was going to help him become the best version of himself. And did you hear what he said? 16, started a job, had a poor mindset. 19 failed, then he switched. 25, he became a millionaire. 25 years old, became a millionaire, guys. Listen to this. Then he realized, I'm wealthy physically or monetarily, but I am poor mentally.
Yes. True. I'm a poor man who has money. That's all.
Poor people who have money make horrible decisions to
Yes.
stay poor.
Yes. Yes. It's like it's like a child who has a knife in the hand. You can do a really great things if you know how to use it. And the money is the same.
Oh my, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
What do you take us through this process? You teach this on a global level, guys. I'm telling you right now. If you don't, let me show you this picture you're now seeing. If you don't know who this man is, Brian Tracy, if you don't know who this man is, you need to look him up.
Yes.
Medhat and Brian Tracy, we will talk about that relationship a little bit later. But the reason I bring this up is because Medhat knows what he's talking about when it comes to this financial spin. Let me ask you, how then do you help individuals like you were when you were growing in this growth of 25 millionaire? How do you get to that millionaire mindset and not the poverty mindset?
So I tell you how I start to talk. To speak with the people.
Mm-hmm.
As I was young, the child, they told me every time, "Hey, you talk too much. You talk too much." And as I try to make money, everybody because I had this is a negative. I talk too much. This is not good. I must be silent. And as I was looking to make money or to make something what's great, I was looking in talent, what talent I have. And I didn't find, and I find this negative things. You talk too much, and I say, I can make money with this. And I start to make money from talking, advices, and speaking. And so that was very negative, and now I earn my money with it. And so that is not every time you must be a very talented person. No, take something what is not very good, but if the people ask you about something, what can help them, then this is something where you are very good in it. Ask yourself, what about the people ask me? And so that was, and I say, oh, that's not a negative, this is positive. And so I can help them. And so I start to do this. I was working as an international sales manager for Middle East and Africa, and I was a very good salesman. I learned this from Brian Tracy's books, Sales Psychology. And so, because I was thinking salesman is talented salesman. If you are talented or not, that's not true. You can learn to be a great salesman and negotiator. And so all my colleagues come to me and ask, oh, how do you do this? Oh, the great revenue. And we get 6% of the revenue. And they ask, and I give every time tips. And then I was thinking, oh, maybe I can do something, some courses or training or advices and get money for this. And I started, and it was great. And so I say, okay, now I can earn money through knowledge. And I start to invest in myself, training, and this is the best investment, what you can do.
Stop it. Listen to what he just said. He learned how to become better by reading first. He read how to be good at sales. To be good at sales. He was good at talking, so that became good at sales. Then he realized, I have a gift. He found his talent. Did you hear him say that? My talent was speaking. People come to me and ask for advice. He says, if you have something that people are looking for, maybe that is your true calling. Then he said, let's build a course. Let's do something. And then he started to invest in himself. Let me ask this question, Medhat. How many books, starting with Brian Tracy book, you guys look, when he was talking, you saw the book come up, his first book that he read. How many books have you read during that time when you were becoming a master of your craft? How many books did you say, and how many books did you read, and how much time would you say you spent reading and studying and applying what you were reading?
So I was, I'm not good in reading. I mean, what you read in 1 hour, I need about 3 hours for this. And that's really hard for me.
Time out. Yeah. I'm slow. I'm really slow. Can you say that point again? Can you say that point again, what you just made, and then continue with your thought?
Thank you. So I am dyslexia and I cannot read very good. And I need a very long time, and it's very boring for me because I need a lot of time. And so I'm lucky that we have audiobooks, and I start to hear much more audiobooks. And so that was something what I can read, I do, and if it's big and a lot, I hear it. And I write some points. I don't know how many books, but really a lot. And what I loved is to go to somebody and he teach you. I love this. And that's what I do now. I do not need to do the same mistakes what you did. I do another mistake. And if I teach people, I teach that they do not do my mistakes and your mistakes and the mistakes from your mentor and from your mentors. So a great, great value. And to invest in yourself, because I invest in a lot of things and I lose a lot of money. But the invest in yourself, you will never lose, never. You keep it and you need it every time. And if you think that, how you call it, that the Dirk Bock say, if you think that education or very expensive, try it with ignorance.
Wow.
It's much more expensive. And if you think, if I come to you and I say, Cameron, please teach me what you do, your expertise. And you say me 10Ks or 20K. It's nothing. You know why? Because I get experience what you have in 20 years or maybe more for just 20K. That's nothing. So I add to my life 20 years from you. And I say, for example, I have written a book with Brian that would come next month. The name is The Code of the Super Rich. And in this book, you have 75 years experience. And that's something what is really valuable. And do not talk about money. Talk about value, what you get. And that's very important. And in some books, like here, Succeeding in Business in Any Market, we are here, 20 co-author and Brian, we have here more than 400 years experience from the people here. And knowledge from 400 years in this book. And that's why, how long time we will live in our planet, 80, 90. If I can take 20 years from you and 10 from here and 20, so I will be about maybe 500 years experience in a small time, on a little 80 years or something like this. And that's a gift.
Oh, I have never, guys, I have never heard it explained that way. at all. Think about what he's just saying. You saw the book. We'll have the book, the link down below. We'll have it where you can go and find not just the book, both books that he's written. He's saying because it took him what would take me 1 hour to read, it takes him 3 hours. Medhat is saying it took me 3 hours to read. I was bored. I didn't want to do it. Nobody wants to do something that's going to help change their life if it's boring. Listen to what he said. The key to success. What did he say? He said, I couldn't read it. So then I turned to an Audible. I paid $25 for the book. You pay, was it like $14, $15 a month? And then you add another $25. So he would spend $40 a month to invest in himself, to invest in books that have experiences of 50 to 100 to 200 years of experience, people who've been through the grind and are giving you clues. He is saying, this is what I did to be and put myself in a position to help others become the best version. And then he said, if he comes to somebody, you go to him, or he goes to somebody and it's like, how much? And they're like 10 grand, 20,000. He is saying, I'm spending $20,000 to take 20 years of knowledge, condense it down into 6 months, and be that much further ahead. Do you see the correlation on how the super wealthy, super rich view money and personal development and personal investment?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
We haven't even been going 20 minutes and we could stop.
Yeah, that's true.
Medhat, that is beautiful.
Thank you.
While we're on this point, because you've already given us these clues, you've already given us success, I want to go back real quick.
Yeah.
So what you're suggesting or saying, because of personal growth and what you did and what you put yourself through, you're saying that being poor is a more of a state of thought,
yes,
and not a physical state of being.
Yeah.
Can you, and you've already explained it, but can you give us 1 to 2 principles, 1 to 2 things that you did? If you guys didn't catch it, we'll do a recap. Give us 1 to 2 examples that you did when you told your family, I love you. I will never leave you. But when I become successful, this is going to help us and not hinder us. Give us 1 or 2 principles that you did to help start separate out that negative belief that rich people are bad and poor people is where life needs to be.
You know, the family hate risk. Yeah, that's why you must look for a job, but you get every month money that you can pay everything that you have. If you're going to take risk, and as I told my father, I will do a photo studio and I have no money, I have to take credit to pay all this, and I pay every month. And my father told me in the beginning, no. And I was really sad and angry. Why? He doesn't want to help me to grow. And no, I understood this later. You know why? Because my father was an employee, yeah, and he take every month his money and spend it like the most of the people. And if I tell him I will start to have my own business, and he will say yes, then he's a loser. You know why? Because if he say yes, why he didn't do this? In his mindset, this is correct, and what I do is incorrect. And risk is bad. And from inside, he cannot say yes. He cannot. That's really, I understand this. I understood this later. He cannot, because if he say this, what he did, why? If I say do this, this is great. Why I didn't do this? And so I didn't understand this in this time. But later I say, I will do it. I'm sorry, but I will do it. And he say, okay, I believe that's not very good, but it's okay. It's your decision. And I did it. And it was okay. I mean, it was a good experience. It was not a very big successful, but it was a good experience. But they say respect. And I say, I will change it to make now a healthy club and something like this and say, so respect. And they see, oh. And as I bought my first car, I was the first one who had a car in the family. Nobody had a car. Nobody. And so that was great, respect. And I say, wow. And I was the stupidest one and the smallest because I'm very small. And so that was great. And they say, oh, you did it. And that's great. That's very great. And so I start to say here, I can give back. And I started to give back. And that was very great. And also to help the people who cannot do the same, to give them advices and a little bit money, maybe supporting. Yeah.
Oh, man, guys, let me ask this follow-up question.
Yeah.
How old were you when you really believed that you no longer had a poverty mindset, that it didn't affect you, that it didn't, every time you would win or every time you would see an award or every time somebody would give you praise or every time you saw a flourish in the business? How old were you when you realized I'm no longer going to allow my past dictate my present nor future?
I was 31.
31.
Yes. I was 31. Yeah.
How then, now in your space that you're in, does this ever come up? Does that mindset, does that fear ever come and start to try to peek its head over the horizon to show you? And if so, what are one or two steps that you do currently actively to put you in that space of, no, I will not allow the past to dictate my future?
As I understood that the difference between rich and poor is not the money. So I say, and I can tell you why, because, for example, the people who win in the lottery, yeah, 91% will be in 5 years maximum more poor than they were before. 91% worldwide. And I read about this, somebody who win 2 times and the same. And so that's mean that's the child was a 9. Poor mindset with money, they will lose. The opposite of this, a rich mindset who did the business and make millions and lose everything. It's like somebody who learned how to cook and he cook a very nice meal and it's loose, it's fall down, he can cook again. And with this mindset, you have the knowledge how to do it again. There is no problem. But you will not start from zero, you will start with experience. So you will make it quickly. That's the difference.
Start with experience.
Yes.
Oh, that is absolutely phenomenal. When you follow the paths of individuals that have gone before you, gone before us, they talk about the mistakes that they made. They talk about the trials. They talk about the bad business dealings or the bad partnerships. Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like you said, maybe it's I get a promotion in my company. Maybe I get a raise. Maybe there's another company out there that fits me better, but because I am already with this company for so long, I have this mindset of loyalty to, because they pay me every 2 weeks, that I need to stay loyal to them. Medhat is telling you, work on yourself first, follow the examples of those others, and then see how rich you can become in thought. And then once you're in thought, well, I'm going to let you expand on this. How do you, whether it's goal set, benchmarks, vision board, write them out, journal, take me through that day. Take me in that process, Medhat. How do you focus or chase after those goals and ambitions? Do you write them down? Do you speak them into existence? How do you go about that in the vision of becoming the better version of yourself daily?
I did one system for myself. I call it 90-90-90. Yeah. The 90 minutes before I go to bed. The 90 minutes after I wake up. 90 days. And I did this. I cared about the last 90 minutes before I go to bed. Because our mind is like our stomach. If you give your stomach bad food, you know what it can happen. Our mind is the same. If you give them bad information and bad knowledge, if you spend your time every time to look at nice things, because I see a lot of people before they go to bed with a mobile to look in TikTok for some funny things and so. And if they stand up, they take and look again and so, and they are not here, they are not in the world. And so I say that's a very important for me, 90-90-90. And I did this, very important to think about positive things and plan the next day and the next time before to go to bed. And sleep enough. And the 90 minutes after wake up, never touch my mobile. I make a meditation 20 minutes and then start with this energy to believe that I did what I want to do. Like Brian Tracy say, if you cannot see what you want to have, you cannot have. If you cannot imagine really visual, you will not get it. I say like you would like to go somewhere, but you don't have the address. That's exactly what happened with me and what I did.
We're done. We could stop. How many times? But we won't. We cannot stop. I know people would scream at me and send me messages from globally. Why did we stop this? How many times on this podcast, guys, how many times globally on this podcast have you heard the successful mindset of these high achievers tell you the last 90 minutes of the day, do not look at your phone, get off social media, put it away. Let your mind be fed with positivity. Journal. People always talk about journaling. Prepare for the next day. How many times have you heard the first thing in the morning, do not grab your phone or electronic, nothing. Meditate, whatever that looks like, whether it's prayer, deep in thought, whether it's breathing, right? Deep breaths in, hold it, and slowly breathe out. Let yourself awaken itself to an arousal that you are ready to learn. And then start to learn, read, podcast, plan your day, look at your day, and then get after it. You want to know how to change your life. You want to know how to change the way that you think. You want to know how the super wealthy think the way that you think. Listen to what Medhat just said. 90, 90, 90. 90 minutes before you go to bed, 90 minutes when you wake up. For 90 days, change the way and the perception you build a habit. Atomic Habit talks a lot about it. You build a super healthy habit, you will become the best version of you.
Yes, that's true. And you know what's happened after 90 days? You make the next 90 and the next 90. You will never stop. Believe me. That's a quality of life. You can never stop.
Oh, I love that saying. This becomes the new quality of your life.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Oh,
true.
I have to. And guys, look, it's his birthday. He is giving us a present. We're supposed to get presents to him. He's giving us absolute gems that we can write and implement.
And I can celebrate today 20 years of rich mindset because I started with 31 and now I am 51. So 20 years today.
Remember what he said? Buy the book. You get the 20 years of history condensed down to whether you listen to it on Audible or you read the cover.
Yeah.
Take us through that first book that you wrote. When you were writing that book, how did it come to pass? How did that book come to pass to where you were writing this thinking, man, I'm actually really writing this book? Give us one or two principles that are deep in that book and why we should all go out and get it. Everybody's going to go out and get it 100%. Everybody's listening, they'll go out and buy the book, but give us one or two principles that you really love about the first book that you wrote.
The first book was not the best, but I can say to you, for me, because I cannot really write and read, and I would like to be author, but I loved one sentence told me Brian Tracy: authority comes from author. I love this sentence, and I say, yes, I have to write. And so the first book, I write just a chapter in the book, and it was about leverage effect. Because I was thinking, with my poor mindset, if you would like to be rich, you must work hard and a lot. No. If you would like to be rich, you must have a leverage. Something what can help you, because alone you can never do it. Never. You can change time against money, and you have just 24 hours a day. And you have to sleep and do a lot of things. So you cannot. If you do not find the leverage and the way to earn money when you sleep, you will never be rich. That's why I was thinking about leverage, and leverage about money. And if I don't have money, what can I do? So I have to save money. And I say, why I have to save money if they print money every day? There is enough money in this planet. So I have to take the money from somebody who has the money and do the great of it. And I earn and he earn and I give him more back. And so that was the first things what I have written about. And then I come to the next book about positioning. That is a great. You cannot have a leverage if you are not in the right position. It's like you can have the best products in this planet, but if your customer doesn't know this, you will never buy it. You are not in the right position. And so position yourself. How can I position myself? Where is the pain of my customer? How can I help him to give him a solution for this problem that he has? give him value with a great price, must not be cheap, but a fair price, and do a lot of this and find much more of these people. So you can be rich through the positioning. If you are not a good positioned, can be somebody who's more expensive and had a bad service, can earn much more money than you. And that's what I did in this book. Succeeding in business in any market. We have in this book 20 co-authors from 14 nationalities with 400 years experience, and everybody write about his expertise. And that's a great value, because what's really great is Brian Tracy, my mentor and my friend, he give back. He say, here he writes the first chapter, Succeeding in Business in Any Market, and then he give us the leverage, because he needs 50 years to make this his name, and he take us with his name and his reputation and the ranking and everything. What we get maybe in 1 year or in 2 years, he did it in 50 years and take us with. This is a leverage, and this is a positioning. And so you do not need to do everything alone. If somebody done this before, go to him and say, take me with you.
Before I let you go,
Yes.
I want you guys to understand leverage. And I want this principle. I want you to listen to a great leverage story that Medhat has, a phenomenal leverage story that he learned from somebody who worked in a yacht yard. You guys know what a yacht is, don't you? Big, huge boat.
Yeah.
Medhat, please share this leverage story about the yacht.
There is two stories. The first one was in the Gran Canaria in Spain. I was on holiday there, and I think I was 30 years old, I think. And I love yachts, to look and to see this luxury. It is great, yeah. And it was the marine, was the yacht stayed from milliardaire and millionaire. And I go through and ask, oh, that's very nice. Oh, let's look. I had some friends who was with me, and I asked one who worked in this yacht station about how much pay every yacht per day. I asked about per month first, and he told me an amount per day, and it was my salary for 3 months. And I think everybody who has a yacht, it was a great yacht. He paid my salary for 3 months just to stay there and get water and electricity. And also in this yacht work the captain and the waiters and the people who clean and many staff, he works there. And so I was thinking, yacht is not an investment. It's something what costs a lot of money every day. And I ask, and they say it's reserved for the next 2 years or something like that. And some yachts stay 2 or 3 years without the owner come one time. And so some of them forget that he has a yacht. And I say, there is enough money in our planet. If somebody has so lot of money, why I am poor? And I decide to be with the rich people, to learn. And so I start to play golf and tennis and so, and I didn't have any money, but I just be with these people in the clubs. And then one time, I decided to make a cruiser in a 5 stars cruiser. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yep.
And then I met one German man. His name is Mr. Smith in English. He was there with his wife. He was about, I think, about 75, 80, but he was really in a good health. And he has his wife and the children and grandchildren. He invites them. And so about 20 people, I think he paid for them about 200,000 euros. And somebody who give away for the family 200,000 euros, he has more than 200,000 euros, logically. And so in the afternoon, I sit in the library and sit to drink coffee, and he was there, and I say hello, and I ask if I come to him, say yes. And then I talked with him, and I ask him, how can I be rich like you? And he told me, you are rich. And I say, how? Say, first, you are here with the rich people. And you ask me, how can I be rich like you? Not why you are rich and I am poor. And I say, what is the difference? Say, you ask how I can be like you, not you are here and I am here. So I would like to come to you. And I say, okay. And he told me, and I asked him if he comes from a rich family. He said, no, I come from a poor family. But he did this. And so he told me the way, the decision. And give me a great example, say, if 100 cows in the way, and so a green field, how you call it? A green
pasture field. Yep.
Yeah. And one is in a very small green, not very much like this area here.
Mm-hmm.
And 99 cows go to this green and only one go to the other. Who will have more to eat? And I told him, sure, this one. I say, do the same. And I say, how? Say, be like a thermostat, not like a thermometer. Don't go and come and so like a thermometer and a thermostat here, and I won't have it here. So, and look what the people do and do the opposite of it. I say, okay, say, yeah, that's why rich people are very few. And that was a very great lesson for me.
I need to give a shout out to my biggest sponsor, Warrior Energy Drink. The reason why we partnered together is because we have the same mindset, with the same drive. We're for the people, we're about the people. Look, Warrior Energy Drink has 0 sugar options, and they got water as well. Low calories, great taste, very affordable, no crash, big energy fast, high in B vitamins, awesome design, culture design, 160 milligrams of caffeine. Other energy drinks have way too much, and they're always giving it back to their community. They're paying it forward. Partner with them, guys. Click the link below. Go get yourself your own Warrior Energy Drink and go crush today. Hey, everybody. I want to take this quick second here. A lot of you have asked me, what journal do I use? My family use? Simple. This journal right here. See, my buddy Craig Smith has spent years and years developing a journal that takes everything that's up in here and puts it on paper so we can be edified and grow. So if you don't know what to write about, which oftentimes happens, he gives you ideas. And if you want power statements, things that say, I am this, he gives you those ideas. Now, when you look at on one page, it says, this is what I'm accomplished. This is what I am statements. And there's a quote every single day that you get to write on and focus on. The second page is write your daily thoughts, get it out of your head, put it on paper to be the best version of yourself. The link's down below. Listen, I get no money for this. It's just, I believe in this journal. I love this journal. It's changed my life, my family's life. And if you want, it'll change your life as well.